Hello, Internet, and welcome to the newest episode of Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, Not a Threat.
Just a fact.
I'm Lulu, a.k.a. Biz Marquis de Sade.
I'm Evan, a.k.a. Whedon Miles Bong.
I'm Matt, a.k.a. Pog Vorbis.
I'm Patrick, a.k.a. the Washington Posadist.
And I'm Sam, a.k.a. Henry as told by Ginger.
Matt, can you please explain yours to me? I don't get it. Like, sorry to make you explain the joke.
Oh my
but,
God. I told you it was fucking too niche.
What, Pog Vorbis?
Yes,
Yeah.
What is it?
Vorbis.
Well, Og Vorbis is an
Oh my
audio
God.
format, and Pogs are a small piece of plastic with brand new
Okay,
characters
I get
on
it
them.
now.
Does anyone remember
Okay.
the 90s?
Anyway, I have some sound effects to describe how this week went.
Okay.
Sure, give it to us.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Sam, I just want you to take the volume of that me chugging a beer and just really, really bring it up in post. I want you to hear the slurp as much as possible.
Okay.
Also, can you edit in a fat bong rip sound?
No.
Yeah. I need some bong rips and maybe just some vape noises. We should get Ori to send us some vape noises.
I'm going to edit out the cracking a beer sound and replace it with a pissing sound, and then it's just going to be glug, 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 glug.
I mean, I'm not Wario. I don't chug piss.
Wario doesn't chug
Apparently-
piss. He sips it.
I missed something in the pre-show apparently. Anyways, so how's everyone doing? It's been a little while since all of us were back on. I mean, Evan was on last week, but Matt, it's been a couple episodes for you. How you doing?
I work for the government now. I shouldn't be on this podcast.
All right, bye, Matt.
Okay, Matt's a fucking cop. Get him out of here.
Matt's a cop.
Who's gonna go back and edit Matt out of every episode we've done?
Need to Stalin Matt out of the whole podcast.
That means, guys, that means canonically, the Canadian government currently pays me to pay money to host this podcast.
Thank you,
So
Justin.
we're now government sponsored then. We're a public podcast.
Thank you, Daddy. Oh, NPR, here we come.
NPC.
NPR, here we dog come.
God damn it, I fucking knew you were going to say that.
All right, so thanks for listening to Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die. We'll be back next week without Matt. He's been excommunicated and murdered.
All right, should we dive into this first story?
Yeah, so we're going to lead this one off with a real fun topic.
This is a rough transition.
We're hate taking this one first, but it's either
Oh, yeah,
it's either
can
we
I-
go
I
we either
wanna-
go dick first. Oh, go on.
Sorry, I just want to say, after last episode, because that was a really, really heavy episode, and I just wanted to say, this is an early stages of the podcast, we're still working stuff out. I think we're going to try not to have such brutally heavy topics, one after the other. And now having said that,
Yeah, we're doing
worst...
this now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're doing this now because otherwise it's going to be we bring the podcast down at the end and then go into questions. So it's we're all really somber, and then Brooks drives through the wall in a clown car and shouts which Pokemon fucks the most?
Which Pokemon has the thickest loads? Bye, everyone.
Anyways, there was a school shooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The 18th in the year 2018.
Yep. How many was it 19, 17, 18, 19?
Last I checked, it was 17, but I think since then, at least one more person has died in the hospital. I don't know what the accurate total is right now, but it's big. And because of this shooting, Columbine is no longer in the top 10 most deadly school shootings in America. So there's that.
Yeah,
The
remember
prestigious
how-
top
remember?
10.
Yeah, just remember how Columbine dominated the national conscience for years afterwards. And I say national conscience, I'm not even American, and yet it still made it over here. And
Yeah.
yet this one,
When
everyone's
was
gonna
that?
fucking forget. 1998, I want to say.
Yeah. So I was not old enough to really form memories at that time. The only thing I remember from age 4 is that on my 4th birthday I got a really nice caterpillar cake.
Nice.
So the fact that we know all of the Columbine stuff, the fact that it is pervaded in the public eye so profusely is just I knew the guy's name a minute ago when I was thinking about it, but I can't remember it now. I knew one of their names at least.
Adam Lanza?
The other one I don't remember. My brain sucks.
Is that
have
who
a
it is?
friend-
I'm not just naming a member of Maroon 5 or something.
No, that's Adam Lambert. You're very close though.
That's Adam. It's Adam Levine, you dumb sack of shit.
yeah,
Adam Lambert was the gay failed American Idol contestant.
No, Miranda Lambert was the main singer from the Maroon 5.
Also, guys, okay, Adam Lanza was the shooter in Sandy Hook.
Oh, okay.
Ah, shit.
Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold.
Isn't that fucking crazy that these people killed like dozens and dozens of people and we don't even fucking remember who they were?
It gets hard to fucking keep up with all
No,
the
no, I'm
fucking
not.
school
I don't
shooters at this point.
ascribe blame to any of you. It's just
Remember the Georgia Tech shooting, how that dominated the media back in like 07, 08?
Well, that was back when a school shooting meant anything to anyone, and now it's just
Was it Georgia Tech?
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech, thank you. It was a Tech.
Yeah, but at this point, it's just like you're just being constantly beaten down with news of school shootings and mass murder, and it's just like...
yeah, nothing's gonna change and more kids will die. The end.
Yep. Man, remember Pulse? That was less than 2 years ago.
Yeah,
That
was
was
like,
Las Vegas. Las Vegas was like 3 months ago?
It was in fucking
About
October.
4. Yeah.
Oh my god.
October 1st. Pulse is just so much for me. Like, I mean, as far as I'm aware, as far as I'm aware, I think most of you are straight. I don't know the exact, but like, Pulse is just, God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, if any of this had happened, like, 20 years ago, it would have been, like, shook the nation to its core for, like, years.
Weren't there, like, more shootings than there were days in the year in 2017? Something like that?
Yeah, not school
When you
shootings,
count-
but
yeah, when you count
cumulatively.
mass
Yeah,
shootings,
like mass
yeah.
shootings.
I saw a tweet today that really like obviously it's all very solid in my mind, but the tweet I saw today was the guy who wrote the fucking article for The Onion that they repost after every mass shooting and said, I didn't think that this would be about a school a fucking mile away from my house.
Well, you know, when we have as many as we do, it's bound to get you eventually, you know?
Basically.
I mean, it's like, this topic is something that, to me, like, it's a tough space between, like, I don't want to just, like, move on from it because that's obviously a horrible thing to do.
There's still more to cover on this though, because I want to talk about the perpetrator
yeah.
himself a little bit, because like again, not a fan of the FBI or the police state or anything, but like every single fucking warning sign was thrown up about this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Abusive, beat up, got expelled after getting in a fight with his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend. Like, got reported to the FB fucking I about this stuff. Talked about guns obsessively. Like, do you guys remember that ad campaign from like a year ago or so that was like some like, it was like a weird like a commercial for like a budding teen romance, but then in the background, if you looked carefully, you could see a kid like looking up gun information.
Oh,
and
yeah.
being so mad about like people, and then he like at the end of the short he walks into the school with a gun. Like, that's what happened. That's what fucking happened. And nobody, like, they tried like some of the kids in the school were just saying like, yeah, when we were in the moment, we were kind of like thinking maybe it was him, and then turned out to be fucking right, because like everything was done and no action was taken.
Like, he commented on a YouTube video, he commented like, I'm going to be a professional school shooter under his own name on a YouTube channel.
I mean,
God.
not to say that that's like a good thing, but like, to be fair, like a lot of people make that kind of edgy content. That edgy, shitty content. Like, if you go to like, for example, like one of my personal favorite subreddits, Comedy Cemetery, you see a lot of edgy humor about that.
Fucking InfoWars dipshits were looking at a comment he was making where he was making fun of a Muslim person as saying he supported Islam, and then left it up on their website for like 48 hours.
Yeah, he like made some like racist remark and said like Allahu Akbar or whatever, and then
He literally used the phrase "sand durkas," which
boy.
remember how like Matt Stone and Trey Parker aren't racist at all, but yet they
not
invented
at
a slur.
all.
They invented a slur that people continue to use to this day.
Totally not racist.
Thanks,
and
guys.
yeah, and they like screen capped that post, but just cropped out the part of him being like blatantly racist when he said it, and we're just like, look, he said the words. You see it? He's a Muslim. He's Muslim. He's Muslim. He's Mexican. He's probably an illegal immigrant. I bet he's a communist. He's probably
Somebody
like
called him a communist on
Someone
Twitter.
posted a picture of like a leftist organizer in Florida and said it was the shooter.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
that was on 4chan. So like, fucking.
But then people
Yeah,
fucking
except it
reported
got posted multiple places afterwards because
Yeah.
people will actually use 4chan as a news source.
Yep.
Yeah. Very normal. Well, it was fucking InfoWars, obviously. And I mean, spoiler alert, this is not the only story that we're going to talk about tonight where InfoWars reporters were, like, getting stuff from the Chans. But, it's like...
And then, and there's so many fucking angles to this story that I've been reading today that every single one of them has made me more mad. Like, fucking people saying that, like, the kids are crisis actors because they're, like, too smart and well-spoken about this.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's so many... Okay. Just everything about this fucking story is just, like, killing me. And, like, the thing about the whole crisis actors thing is, like, the idea that there are so many incredibly... Like, if those are crisis actors, those are some fucking talented actors, I think we can agree. And that there would be so many actors in the country who would just, like, throw away their potential acting careers for the sake of, like, getting in on a conspiracy where they're sworn to secrecy. And just every fucking conspiracy theory that involves, like, hundreds or thousands of random people being sworn to secrecy about these fucking things, like...
No, it's Occam's razor, Sam. It's the simpler option, rather than kids in high school can be smart.
One last thing I want to add on this topic, and then we can move on, is that...
I also have a thing after, but
okay.
Go on.
I've been seeing a lot of tweets from the kids who were there, who were, involved with the lockdown, because that's, the hell world that we live in now. And it does, at some point, kind of warm your heart a little bit to see these kids rationally and thoughtfully, like, lay out their thoughts on what happened. And one in particular told a Fox News reporter to choke, which I'm a big fan of.
Good. Me too.
They've been, like, bodying Tommy Lahren on Twitter, like, all day, and it's been fucking great.
Not to mention fucking Trump, who tweeted... Basically, he, like, blamed the victims for, like, you should have reported him. Why didn't you report him ahead of time? This all could have been prevented.
They extremely did.
Oh yeah, and he also like scapegoated mental health when he is the person who repealed like the fucking Obama era checks on like gun control for people who have like severe like psychosis and mental illness.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't see why everyone should.
Like even if the argument wasn't bullshit, he made it bullshit.
Yeah. So I just have two more things I want to say. My personal favorite tweet that I saw was that it's a shame that these students that we lost. You can tell how smart these kids are.
Yeah.
I don't remember who said that, but like some liberal who was like, "Oh, it's a shame we lost the smarts."
Yeah.
It was New York Times, Eric Lipton.
Thank you.
Excellent work from the NYT.
Yeah.
Yeah, New York Times. God shit.
Yeah, New York Times. We got a special shout out in the funny section for that one. And the tweet thread was by at Spook Person, Goth Miss Frizzle. Anyways, the last thing I really have to say about this, and I feel like I've said this before, which sucks that I've said it before, but like I just don't have like this sounds heartless, and this is heartless, but like I just don't have the brain capacity to like feel emotion about this.
It's not not heartless. It's like how do you process that? I mean, how do you process one of these? How do you process 100 of these? How do you process
like Sandy Hook? Like
3 of these
I
a
took
week?
Sandy Hook took me so long to process, and then like I'm still kind of processing Pulse. Like that is,
It's impossible. You can't.
Yeah.
A person can't do that. Like I don't think that anybody should be expected. Like that's where I'm at this point. Is just I can't like think about that because it just like I shut down if I try to think about it, so just like keep my head down, hope that I'm not gunned down by a random stranger for no reason in public, and if we ever get Congress out of the hands of the NRA fucking stooges who are basically terrorists, then we immediately start screaming at the Democrats to put gun control laws in place immediately and hope that they fucking do something for once in their lives.
Hey, remember when an anti-feminist shot up an engineering college and killed 13 female students in Montreal in the late 80s? And then Canada enacted gun control laws, and we've had like 4 mass shootings since the late 80s instead of literally several hundred every year?
No
Well,
way
see,
to
but
prevent
Matt,
this, says only nation where this happens regularly.
Matt, the thing is, since it happens so infrequently to you folks, whenever it does happen, it's way more soul-crushing. So the fact that a bunch of people die like every like 2 days, because this is happening all the time, is actually better on our collective consciousness.
Yeah.
Take.
The thing is that you have to numb yourself to this constant suffering of all the people around you, because that's capitalism, baby.
We did it. I mean, let's not forget that these people, like the Republicans, think that the ideal for our country is like every single day someone walks into a school, pulls out a gun, probably kills like 2 people, and then the teacher shoots them in the head and it's over. That's what should be happening every day.
Did I tell you guys the horror story that my girlfriend experienced at work 2 months ago or so?
I don't think so.
Okay, this doesn't go, she's fine, literally nothing happened, but this just like this terrifying thing, because she like, she was like the last person to get laid off in a round of layoffs. And one of the people who got laid off before her was, I don't remember the guy's name, I'm just going to call him Joey. Joey was a Republican, redneck, very big avid gun fan, talked consistently about how he was a proud, concealed carrier.
Oh God.
And, one day after, he was laid off, he comes into the print office where she works. And she is terrified. She almost bolts for the door immediately. Thankfully, he was just there to pick up something that he had left behind when he got fired, but
now
I can't imagine that kind of fear.
Why doesn't your girlfriend just get a gun, carry a gun with her everywhere, and then constantly be on edge in fear that someone is going to try to kill her and be prepared to murder someone at any moment?
I mean, to be fair, she weighs like 80 pounds, so like I think the recoil off a BB gun would kill her.
Well,
then she could just like aim the gun away from her and use the recoil to like propel herself away from danger.
Or she could just use the recoil to make herself into a bullet.
See, now these are the hard-hitting solutions that the leftists don't want you to think
Yeah,
of.
just put a Luna's girlfriend shaped hole in her former coworker. Yeah, I mean, I've been just casually threatened with not physically with an actual gun, but a former coworker of mine. We were just talking about gun control, and he was like, "Oh, you don't like guns, huh? Well, how about I go get my 12 gauge out of my car and point it in your face, then we'll see how you feel about guns." And I'm like,
wow,
probably worse than I already do, just if I'm being honest. I don't think that would help. Thanks.
It's like, you don't like fire, man? Well, how about I set your fucking house on fire? See how you feel about fire then.
I probably would like it less.
Hey, it worked for the Hound.
Yeah.
Just thanks.
Topic change.
Game of Thrones, 23 Emmys.
All right,
topic
let's get
change.
Out of here.
Yeah, let's move on to the next. So we're gonna just go like going from like darkest to lightest stories in our topic. So Matt, if you want to take this next one.
This is definitely another dark topic. I'm just gonna let you know.
No.
Yeah, but it's like we're moving slightly up the scale. Like, this is like a 95% gray as opposed to like the 100% black of the last one.
Yeah, I don't think Luna meant immediately to light topics. I think Luna meant onto the topic
gradual change
with less murder in it.
I mean, it does have a murder in it.
Fewer murders.
Yeah, but that's less than 18. That's
less than 18
17
murders.
less murders.
Yeah,
Well,
again, listeners, sorry this is the world we live in, but here we are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, does it help your case at all that it was a young indigenous man murdered by a white man who then was declared not guilty?
Oh, and had all his legal fees paid off on Indiegogo, so that's great.
Oh, God, I didn't fucking know that part.
Okay, so there is a young indigenous man named Colton Bushi, and he was in an SUV with a bunch of friends, and the activities in which he was partaking were not necessarily, let's just say, not necessarily wholesome activities, and they did happen to be on another man's property. That is where the story begins, and for a lot of people, that's where the story ends, because they hear that, and they think, yes, this 17-year-old boy deserved to be shot in the back of the head point blank by a man who easily did not have to do that because he was practically asleep at the time. But that is what
Jesus
happened, and he
Christ.
basically admitted to it in court. His defense was declared admissible despite the fact that his lawyers essentially tried to use a Reddit thread from a gun enthusiast subreddit about about delayed trigger mechanisms, essentially saying like he had the gun in his hand and he didn't pull the trigger, despite the fact that there is expert testimony from gun experts saying that with this gun there is literally no way for that to happen. And the jury that was selected for this, despite being in a town that had something like a 40% Aboriginal population, was 100% white. So everyone just take a moment to process that one. Evan, I know you've been mad red and nude online about this pretty much all week.
Quick question for clarification. Was the guy who shot him, was that the property owner?
Yes.
Yeah. See, he lied.
This is out of sheer curiosity. This is not going to change my opinion whatsoever. What were the quote illicit activities he was partaking in?
He was stealing a tire for his car.
Oh,
that's what he was doing at the house previous. They're not entire. There's conflicting accounts on what he was actually doing at the house that he was shot at, but at the previous house he had been to, he had stolen a tire for his car.
It doesn't fucking matter unless he was fucking. And I'm not saying you were implying that it did, Luna. I'm just saying, unless he was fucking trying to kill this guy while being shot point blank in the back of the head, which he very wasn't, and no witness statement or even the statements of the actual killer.
Oh yeah,
say as much.
The killer in court did say a story that's almost certainly a lie, that he tried to run over his wife with the car, but then his wife,
while being shot point blank in the back of the head.
Apparently, okay, so there was two stories, one given by the wife and one given by the shooter. And the shooter said that he had been mowing his lawn at the time and ran over to see the car because he thought that the car had run over his wife. But the wife said that she had run over because she heard the gunshot go off from when he murdered Colton. And so obviously one of them is lying, and it's obviously him. But
this wasn't a problem for the jury.
Yeah, they bought both stories simultaneously in the most stupid example of doublethink I have ever seen in my entire life.
Well, because it's just so easy to believe that a non-white youth would be trying to run over a woman for no reason.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing about prairie justice for Aboriginal people is that they are vastly overrepresented in the penal system at a level that you couldn't even match with black people in the United States.
Jesus.
Like, it's literally 30 times the white incarceration rate in Saskatchewan.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Like, they make up something like 70% of the entire prison system in Saskatchewan.
And the worst part is you see people online all the time saying stuff like, well, they just must do 30 times more crimes. Like, that makes any fucking sense.
like what happens in reality.
Yeah, like, there are people of, like, I'm not gonna, like, try to, like, over-victimize, like, just be, like, I'm not trying to belittle Aboriginal people with this, but they have a generational trauma that literally still existed as when all of us were alive. Like, residential schools stopped in 1996.
Jesus Christ.
Wait, Evan, how old are you again?
I was born in 98, but I wasn't going to correct you.
Okay. Yeah, I was 97.
God damn it, you fucking children. Anyway. When more than half of us were alive, because people will always say, like, well, what about, like, slavery ended all this time ago?
Okay, yeah, keep going.
Like, I'm not saying that like, it's that's a valid point.
I know you're not.
But, like, this is something that is so in recent memory that most of the country was alive for it.
Yeah.
And yet, like, their overrepresentation in the justice system, like, in the penal system, their, like, massive incarceration rates for exact similar crimes that white kids commit all the time, like petty theft and vandalism, that'll get them a jail sentence, whereas it'll get a white kid a slap on the wrist.
Right.
I'm not gonna avoid saying names here, but there's this absolute, like, fucking chud I was talking to at my university the other day, and he was basically...
Was his name Bud?
You know what? Sure, I'll call him Bud for the sake of this. Bud the Chud. Okay,
just call him Chug Buttball.
Chud, okay. So,
politician and Senator Chug Buttball.
Friend of the show, Republican Congressman Chug Buttball, who goes to your school.
Yes, he's the Alan Smithy of the idiot stories on this podcast now.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, this fucking, like, he was talking about, well, they might not have, like, he might have done wrong and he might have shot him, but, he was on his property, and if somebody is invading your property, then you've got every right to shoot him, because that you got to protect yourself out there in the prairies because the police don't arrive. And
Oh my god.
it's just like, no,
First of all, we don't have stand your ground laws here.
Yeah, but he was like basically saying we should, and so he was like doing direct action or something. I don't want to say like
be the change you want to see in the world. If someone's on your property, fucking kill them.
Like, I don't want to say like he wasn't. I don't want to overly slander this guy. He wasn't saying like do it, kill him, it's good. But like he was kind of. I guess he kind of was like he was saying.
It sounds like he was literally saying.
Sounds like he was pretty much saying that.
Like he was saying, if they're on your property, like he's saying, if they're on your property and you feel threatened, you have the right to shoot them. And no, but like, I don't know. It's. I
mean, if you feel threatened and also you manage to shoot them in the back of the head, I think there's a bit of a disconnect there. Unless he can like throw the tire iron he's using to take it off the SUV wheel and like throw like a boomerang and have it like clang you in the head.
There's a guy, I think his name is Dalsim, and he's brown. He has like really stretchy arms that he could, in theory, like he could reach behind with his stretchy arms and he could like flip you upside down and like pile drive you behind his back, I think, if he tried.
Like, the whole argument is just like libertarianism.txt, but like it's sorry, that made me extremely mad and I just wanted to like say it here.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. This is a safe. I mean, nobody's gonna be upset with you for talking shit about Chuck Buttball on this podcast.
Yeah, but yeah, I kind of want to close out this. I kind of want to close out the story with just like Justin Trudeau made a tweet like right afterwards, after the guilty verdict. It's like, there are so much change that could happen in this country. Then fucking do it, you fucking coward! You literally run the country.
I mean,
like, follow through on literally any of your commitments to Indigenous justice. You haven't done shit.
He has no. Why do you think he has any control over anything? He's just a helpless. Who said this?
The literal prime minister of the country. Who wield much larger amounts of executive power than the president does in the United States.
He can pass.
We just need to get direct action man himself, Matthew Perry, Chandler Bing, and just have him beat the shit out of him
Perry,
again.
Please beat the shit out of Justin Trudeau again. For the
Not
love
a threat.
of God.
Just
not
like,
a threat.
Just like that episode of Studio 60.
Oh, where he killed Justin Trudeau in real life.
Well, no,
Not
he does beat the shit out of Bradley Whitford in an episode of Studio 60, I think.
I just want to say, not a threat. Just putting that out there.
Yeah, not a threat.
Not a threat.
Not a threat.
Want to move into the next topic, which is my wheelhouse, because
all right, so we're on to the positive stuff now.
Yeah, we're on to the positive stuff, because ultimate bitch lord Betsy DeVos, the absolute dumbest. I was about to say the dumbest bitch in power, but that's not true. She's probably not even top 20.
Linda McMahon exists.
Queen of the fucking reptoids.
Yeah.
Confirmed inhuman Betsy DeVos.
So Betsy DeVos has been under a lot of fire lately for not really protecting like students equally and not really having the best interest. She's come under a lot of fire for taking.
I'll edit in some sad violin here.
Yeah, she's taken a lot of hits for like, protecting like money basically over students, and she really wanted to go out and prove that wasn't true. So she decided to go ahead and say that the Department of Education would no longer be hearing cases relating to trans students not being allowed to use the bathrooms that assigned to their gender.
Great.
Thanks.
It's good and cool how you take kids who are in their most vulnerable possible environment and then make them feel more unsafe with guns and not letting them use the bathroom.
So like this is a bigger step back, because like there was an Obama era guidance about transgender restroom stuff that said like countrywide, let trans kids use the bathrooms that correspond to their identity. Countrywide, there were memo and court filings.
Yeah.
And then Trump repealed that.
Thanks.
And then Betsy DeVos said, we're not taking those cases.
Yay.
Yeah.
So
well,
the ultimate irony about this is that this came like 12 hours after she publicly stated, I feel like I'm being attacked for not despite the fact that I'm doing my best to protect every student in America, and I feel like I'm being attacked in spite of that.
People
and then 12 hours later,
all the good work I do to help the kids.
like,
Wait, how close
listen,
was that tweet to like the school shooting happening?
I have no idea. Probably about 24 hours apart.
Yeah, I mean, it was probably within a day, I think.
Yeah. So the thing about this is that, like, I didn't come out as trans until I was 19. I had a lot of gender feelings for like 6 years that I kind of repressed because I was just like, oh, this is what everyone feels. Everyone kind of wishes they were a girl all the time and kind of cries when they realize they never can be. That's normal, right? And I didn't have anyone in my life to tell me, no, that's really not normal. You should talk to someone about that. But, you know, after a lot of soul searching, I finally did come out at 19. And I was I live in New York, so a pretty blue state. Was up in the boonies, but I had a lot. I was in an arts department, so pretty much everyone was like totally cool with it. But if I had come out when I was in high school or middle school or anything, I would have gotten the shit beaten out of me. More so than I already did, because I was a very bullied kid in high school. But I won't get into that here. Like, I would have had the absolute utter shit beaten out of me. And the thing is, my life, despite that, my life would be 100% better if I had come out when I was 15 or 14 or 17 or what the fuck ever. If I was still in high school when I came out and I was able to enter college knowing what my gender was, I would have been 1,000% happier. I know that's not true across the board, but I know that I feel like for most trans people, that is the truth. And the fact that the government, like, not even the government the government won't even consider being in your corner. It's not that, like, already you probably knew the government probably won't be in my corner, but I can threaten to take this up to a level that they might be in my corner. Now you just know there is no chance the government is in your corner. So if you are in a red state, like if you are in the deep south, if you are in, like, I don't know, Texas or Georgia or something like that, and you want to come out, go fuck yourself if you do not attend school in the most liberal campuses possible. There are definitely outcrops of blue in these states. Like, if you live in Austin, great. If you live in Houston, like, just eat shit and die. Just stay closeted for as long as you possibly can, because the government will not fucking have your back on this. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah, I mean, it's fucked up. It's just like the repealing.
It's almost comical how incompetent she is. Like,
it's
like,
well, no, I think
It's not.
incompetence.
It's deliberate.
Yeah, incompetence kind of relieves her of blame that she very much is deserving of. Like, it's not a mistake that.
I mean, I think there are
these
certainly
people.
plenty of things that she's just being incompetent about, but this is.
I think, okay, the incompetent part is not that she is doing this. The incompetent part is that 12 hours before she publicly said that, when she didn't decide this on a whim. She definitely had been planning this. The incompetent part was that, no, she very much said, I do not deserve all this hatred that I'm getting for not protecting students equally. When she, like, it's literally that fucking scene from Arrested Development where, like, I don't even remember her name. Lucille is like, I love all of my sons equally. And then earlier that day, I don't care much for Job. Like, I love all of my students equally. Earlier that day, I don't care for the trans.
Yeah. Like, I just came out to take away some rights, and I'm honestly feeling so attacked right now.
Yeah.
Oh man, way to dredge up a 2-year-old meme.
Yeah, well, that's just what I do.
That's what this podcast is good for. I mean, I'm just so sad about this.
I have a lot of respect for Betsy DeVos. She takes away protections from students and doesn't afraid of anything.
Wow. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, you know what they say about her statement. Her statement about wanting to protect all students.
Here we go.
The statement's a lie.
I just wish there was a way to find the geeks and gamers in this podcast.
Fuck off.
Oh man.
The best part about that is that someone said that exact phrase last week. And now Evan's had to hear it twice.
Yeah. Welcome to the fucking podcast, Evan. You're going to be hearing it a lot more.
The thing is, it really was weird when she just came out and said, someone set me up the being nice to kids.
I get mean tweets.
Okay, that's done. We're done now. I don't think you were going to beat us. We're not going to beat an all your base zeroing reference here. Come on.
Yeah. I did not actually get that until just now.
You are. Oh my god.
Can we just all agree?
You have no chance. You have no chance to survive. Make your time.
Can we get some real '90s kids on this podcast, please?
Can we just all agree though? Betsy DeVos, retire, bitch.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
Categorically.
Retire from what? She doesn't fucking do anything.
this is just like the newest in the line of just like absolute atrocity. Like, because trans kids don't have it fucking hard enough. I've said my piece.
Well, see,
I really should stop.
You know what?
But...
You know what could make things easier is if they could just literally own an immigrant.
Oh,
Hey,
now go on.
Now there's a
Now
nice
see,
segue.
Matt, a trans, might sometimes have some issues in my life where I am not making enough money off of exploiting labor. What can I do to help this?
Well, I think Patrick wanted to take the lead on this one.
No, I think it's
Patrick.
Evan.
that was
Evan,
me.
what can I do to help this?
Oh, well, you see, we've got a great new program here, straight from the minds of two different writers here at Politico magazine. And
Sorry, this is from Politico?
yes. Okay, so first of all, like the plan is basically this. So imagine, like, you know how companies bring in lots of immigrant labor, right? Like they kind of exploit immigrant labor.
Yes, how can I exploit that?
Hold
Well,
on,
imagine-
I'm galaxying my brain. I'm ready.
Imagine if you could have, it's like Uber but for slavery, right? So what you do is you go online and you interview people, and then you pay them $5 a day to live in your basement and pick crops for you, and you can double your income for the sheer moral price of
fuck are you
owning
saying
actual
right now?
slaves.
Did Politico literally suggest this as like an idea to do?
They
Yes.
sure did.
They put an apology up today because this came out yesterday. Oh no, 2 days ago. But they put out an apology the day after. Saying,
That's too fucking long to wait on your apology.
can't fucking be real. This
no,
can't.
I'll read you an exact quote from
Deep
this.
breathing.
Okay,
Please do.
okay, hold on. Let me find the worst one here. Okay.
We found a great way to disrupt. We're gonna I call it slavery, but without the e. It's
Slavery?
It's
There's an app for that.
SLAVRY period. All
Let's
lowercase.
disrupt the immigration
Okay, here's-
process.
That's my favorite Van Morrison song. SLAVES slaves.
Okay, here's an actual quote from the article. They describe a first-person account of how this could work. All right, so imagine a woman named Mary Turner. She lives in Wheeling, West Virginia. She was recently laid off from a chicken processing plant and needs to make ends meet by walking and taking care of her neighbor's pets.
What the fuck?
Mary could expand her little business by hiring some workers, but no one in the area would accept a wage that she could afford. So Mary goes online to a kind of new international gig economy website, a Fiverr for immigrants, and she applies to sponsor a migrant. She enters what information she needs. Someone with rudimentary English skills, no criminal record, and an affection for animals. She offers a room in her basement, meals, and $5 an hour. Parentheses, sponsors under this program would be exempt from paying the minimum wage.
What the fuck is this? How?
Yeah, it keeps going too. Like they have they treat it like it's good for the immigrants and for you.
Oh my god!
Hold
what
on,
the
hold on.
fuck is this?
I need to get naked because I cannot be I cannot be as red and mad as I am without being
Yeah,
also
let's all
nude.
take a quick break to jerk off, and then
I'm reminded of last podcast. This makes me so mad I could bust a nut.
All right, and done. All right, that was a great jerk off, everyone. All right, so back to the topic at
all right,
hand.
we're back. All right, listeners. It's
Welcome back to Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going
stop.
to Come.
Okay.
Okay, so
That's not
so
the
let me get this
episode
straight.
title.
What they propose is that because she cannot pay enough money for other people to work for her, she is also she should all like if corporations can do it, why don't we just exploit immigrant labor?
Yeah, that's literally
That's
exactly what
literally the bit.
Yep. The last
How is this not parody? Like, is
la-
it April 1st accidentally?
the last
Am I high? Did I get high and none of you tell me? Like, I can't handle this. I knew about this, but this is way worse than I read. I somehow must have misread something because nothing registered in my brain to say this is the most broken, stupid piece of shit idea I have ever heard in my life.
I'm just fucking blown away by the fact that I haven't heard anything about this.
the best part
How
is
did I
though
fucking miss this?
is towards the end they keep talking about how it would be so great, like how it would be great for the working class because people could like increase their incomes, and they're like, and they actually use the phrase, and
You're
like
creating middlemen. You're creating more middlemen.
Yeah, I mean, financially, slavery was great for slave owners. I think that's not really the issue at hand, though.
I know. My favorite part, though, is they actually use the real-life passage here. Democrats, comma, traditionally the allies of the working class. The very accurate statement.
Tell me more.
That's a good joke. That actually just tells me that this is a parody piece because they let it off with such a good
And
joke.
lastly, this is like the last like full quote I want to read from here, but this is important to me, is immigration is just one of any number of social programs that can be solved with what we call radical markets. By exploiting the logic of the market in the area that is normally bureaucratized, we can advance equality as well as economic growth.
Well, yeah, I mean, those are like the three
killing
major
me right
like
now.
subsects. Those are like the three major subsects of like communism. You got Stalinism, you got Trotskyism, and you got Marxism.
Stalinism, Trotskyism, and fucking
Slavery.
Epic, great for working class slavery.
Okay, I've got my
Slavery-
volume of I got my copy of Capital Volume 1 here.
Slavery
And-
too. It's not just for the rich people anymore.
Now it's for the moderately rich people.
I've got
Now
my
you
copy
can
of,
get now you can get slaves on the plantation that you rent.
Actually, though, I was going to say, you see, I've got my copy of Karl Marx's Capital Volume 1 here, and he says pretty clearly in here, if you can't get enough money walking dogs, just buy some fucking slaves and let them walk the dogs for you. This is what communism is. I'm on page 388. Yeah.
And then
Everyone gets
you can buy the newest fucking Mazda.
Everyone gets an equal share of dogs to walk.
Yeah, that's
Evan, is this in chapter 69, page 420?
yes,
Nice.
100%. And the best part is this book's so
I get
long,
it.
no one's gonna check, so it's definitely there.
In my copy, it's on page 621.
Would you stop with that?
Can we move on? I'm gonna. My brain.
Yeah,
Listen,
okay.
one day, and it will be one day soon. 621 will enter the fucking I can't think of the word.
The public consciousness.
The
Zeitgeist.
pantheon of nice numbers next to 69, nice.
Okay.
420, nice, and 666, nice.
Okay.
All right. Next topic is
One.
the government.
There's a number.
The government continues trying to kill poor people. So for those of you who don't know, this week the Trump administration kind of proposed an alternative to their SNAP program.
What a fucking
For
week
those
it's
of you-
been. Oh, this is
Yeah.
okay.
And for those of you who don't know, SNAP stands for Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, and it's what we used to call food stamps. It's a social welfare program where the government essentially gives impoverished people the funds they need to buy food to stay alive. And their proposal was that they would slash half of that money and replace it with a program they are calling America's Harvest Box, which is a selection of hand-picked, domestically grown...
Hand-picked corns and cheeses.
Yeah, basically.
Hand-picked,
I mean,
domestically grown Kraft macaroni and cheese.
this was kind of framed under the guise of being a cost-saving measure that would also help American farmers, but obviously that's bullshit. What this is doing is it's trying to further humiliate people who can't afford to live in this country, because that's what Republicans do, is they break poor people, they take away every nice thing they have, and then they kill them.
We
I
get to
like how
choose. We get to choose what you eat. Here's your government mandated Lunchable for special boys, and you'll notice there's a Skittle in there for you. So that's you get a nice little dessert.
My personal favorite thing about this is that, like, the implication that the government will be able to keep track of, like, all the poor people's, like, you know, gluten allergies and, like, you know, fish, inability to eat fish and stuff. And, like, unlike, like, you know, I got friends who are on EBT or SNAP or whatever the hell. And, like, they, like a couple of months ago, one of my friends in New Jersey who's on SNAP was like, oh, can someone PayPal me some money because SNAP is not, my SNAP card is not working because the system is down and will be down for 3 days and I
Right.
can't get food.
Yeah. And there's already a ton of restrictions on what SNAP recipients can buy with that fund, and you know it's gross that the government is.
Well,
is
actually,
so...
people are using their SNAP benefits to buy drugs and
Right,
televisions.
Yeah. That
They
thing
think
you
they
can
think
totally
that you're
do.
fucking going into Best Buy and being like, "Here's my SNAP card. Can I have that TV?" And they go, "I don't know, probably."
Commodities,
Yeah,
please.
The important update to this story was that, like, the day after, someone in an official capacity for the administration basically said, obviously, there's no way we can get this to happen. The president basically just said it to own the libs, and that's a cool government to live under, huh?
It's the fucking
I love
government of
getting
4chan.
owned by the president.
Yeah, it's good that he can just say whatever dumb bullshit he wants just to make people mad, and that the president of the
So
fucking
wait,
United States.
I'm unclear. Are they actually going to actually like work towards getting this instated, or
From
Is this
what
a pipe
I
dream?
read, no. The official word was like, this is never gonna happen. There's no way we could get it to happen. It just economically, we can't get it to work.
oh, so they literally just said this to own the pores?
Yeah, yep, because their lives just mean that little to them.
I mean, not literally. I'm sure they would love to own the pores literally.
They
but for
inspired
now-
a 24. They inspired a 24-hour panic. So
See what they're gonna do instead. So they thought they would want to do this because they really wanted to get some trucks to deliver these Blue Apron fucking harvest boxes to people's
they've
houses.
been comparing it to Blue Apron a lot.
Yes. So
Yep.
there would be sirens on the truck that would basically just say pores, 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 pores. And instead, they're actually just going to add that to the aisles in the grocery store, that whenever someone scans a snap card,
Oh, yeah,
it just
yeah.
says, a pore just checked out at this aisle. Everybody look at aisle 3 for the pores. Is anyone else really fucking tired?
Yeah, like
and
You
the
know,
thing about
I
this,
am. I feel like I've been tired for a few years now.
the thing about this also is the 15 counties in the country that are most dependent on SNAP programs are all clearly Republican counties. Like, this isn't like a bipartisan thing. The people who are going to be hardest hit by this are traditionally Republican voters because they
Yeah, I mean,
don't
that's
give a
nothing
shit
new.
about their own electorate.
like I don't know.
Yeah,
know,
and then
because-
Democrats will basically just say,
because-
you voted Republican, eat shit and die.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and you know what? If you kill all the people, it doesn't matter because they can't vote for you when they're dead anyway.
Like, I don't know if you saw this, but, like, going back to one of the earlier points you had made, I don't know if you saw, like, perennial worst man on Twitter, Ian Miles Wrong, actually...
Got him!
Yeah, fucking owned. But anyways, he mentioned on Twitter the other day, he was like, I think that Trump's new SNAP program is a great idea. It'll it'll stop all of the people on food stamps from using them to buy 4K TVs.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. And then he logged off Twitter and he fell downstairs for 15 minutes.
I mean, you can't blame him though. I mean, like, the Gamergate ants ate his brain in like 2014, so like
Yeah.
he has nothing.
I mean, we
but bad
did warn him
opinions.
about
Oh,
those
shit.
stairs, bro.
Wait a
That's
minute.
true.
So wait, Ian Miles Chong has this weird thing about like ants that were like in his bed or whatever because he eats food in his bed or whatever it was. But then
Yeah.
also there is the literal fact that the word Gamergate refers to a type of ant.
Yep.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That's
It's
just
poetry.
another proof that we're all in a terrible hell simulation.
I can't wait for it to shut down and we all remember that everything's actually fine. You
I
know,
would love to find out that I'm actually just a fucking battery for some robots right now. That would
Yeah,
be
honestly, that's
that
best
would be an
case.
improvement.
Yeah, robots we've found a new system where robots are fueled by feelings of absolute fucking dog shit.
I remember somebody saying one time that like the world we live in is actually some like Chris Farley movie from Beyond the Grave where he's playing the president, and like eventually our entire
God, he would have been a
existence will
very
just
good
be
Trump.
like our entire existence will just be destroyed by a Subway commercial come tomorrow. I wish I could find where I saw that because it was a great article, but
I mean,
Right.
wouldn't you rather have an idiotic despot as a president instead of a guy who would get his painting done with colors on it?
Yeah,
Like,
how
'cause-
dare he?
Because that's really the thing this week is that there's some leaves on his portrait, and the person who drew the portrait also drew someone decapitating someone.
well,
What was
now-
the deal?
Now, I would love to tell you about the portrait because it's in a week of just the portrait is so Obama's like official presidential portrait for like the National Portrait Gallery was unveiled, and I started immediately seeing this very weird response to it from conservatives, where I saw people calling it like an attack on the institution and disgraceful, and Sean Hannity tweeted that it had sexual innuendo in the form of secret sperm. So, okay, so it's this. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's Obama like in a chair, and basically like the different thing about it from other presidential portraits is that the background is like leaves and flowers, and it's very like
instead of like some drapes, I guess.
Yeah, it's not as like sort of dull. It's more like lively, you know. And
it looks
so,
nice, I think, is the difference.
Yeah, so I looked into it. The flowers that are in the portrait are the chrysanthemum, which represents Chicago because it's their like official flower. Jasmine, which I guess is a symbol for Hawaii. I couldn't find out why that is, but I guess it's like used in Lay's, I think, like the potato chips. And lily of the Nile, representing Africa because Obama is, I think he's like black or something. And so
his dad was born in Kenya. Yes.
Oh, okay. That's weird. I feel like I would have heard something
as someone whose dad was also born in East Africa, I feel kinship.
Oh, are you kin with Obama?
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely kin with Obama. No doubles.
No doubles. No doubles. Okay. So those are the flowers that are behind him.
Who did that painting anyways? I want to make sure that we credit the artist.
I've got his name. I'm sorry if I pronounce this wrong. Kehinde Wiley.
That sounds like what I would guess based on how I've seen it written. I've never heard it pronounced. So
yeah, I would also guess that.
Okay,
yeah.
So that's what the flowers are and like what they represent and why they're there. But a certain now this is what's interesting is a lot of the stuff that's coming from this. I had heard was
coming.
Dog coming?
Secret sperm. So I had heard a lot of stuff from like InfoWars was going on with this. So I found out when I looked into it, this fucking InfoWars reporter named Jerome Corsi. Now there was two details about this that really jumped out at me. One of them is that he's 71 years old, and the other was that all of this research that he did was on 8chan. So when you've got 71-year-old men on 8chan, that's a recipe for just chef kiss success.
Is 8chan just like worse 4chan?
Yes.
I don't know enough
yes.
about it to. It's from what I've heard, it's like more explicitly aligned with like Gamergate and the alt-right than 4chan is in general.
Yeah, 4chan actually
right-wing.
banned shit.
It's 4chan,
it's more right-wing and
but
considerably
coded by a
less
pedophile.
moderated.
Yep, and coded by a pedophile. Just gonna put
Yeah,
that
that
out there.
also.
The founder
Perfect.
of,
Yeah,
So-
isn't it Weave's thing?
I think so. Like whoever founded Kiwi Farms and that whole hive of bullshit, he's the one who helped
Oh,
code it.
Oh, if you say that name in my presence, I immediately age 5 years.
Anyway, so James Corsi, I've got a quote from him here. He says, "That is one of the weirdest presidential portraits I've ever seen. It is a bizarre picture. It's a reference to the loss of virginity in terms of a physical sense. It's a very physical reference to loss of virginity. This whole elite globalist pedophilia is a major thing that Q, referring to QAnon, continues to remind us underlies a lot of these globalists that we're dealing with. The fact that they are sitting on flowers and the deflowering could easily be an image of the pedophilia that they're engaging in, or the slavery pedophilia, you know. Tend your gardens, everybody. They're slave gardens." So when I look at Barack Obama, the first thing that I think is, that guy's black. Black people, they love to do slavery, right? In America. They're the ones who do the slavery. Is that right? I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention.
I'm pretty sure you reading that out just made my brain smoother.
You're welcome.
Like, it is a round, uncompressed stress ball.
I just took an iron to your brain and got all those wrinkles out. Yeah, so just... Oh, God. I mean, how do you even, like, break this down? It's just so fucking, like...
Yeah, it's just nonsense. Like,
I saw a black man with flowers. I think he's trying to fuck my daughter.
Yeah, any attempt at analyzing this is just going to end in that same bullshit that they've been doing for the last 10 fucking years. It's just, ultimately, it's rooted in racial resentment, which, like, come on, guys.
I personally like Ben Garrison. I like that take a little bit more than I liked Ben Garrison's take on it, which was...
I didn't even see his...
I'll link it in the group chat, but for those listening at home, because this is an audio format, it is, the picture has been changed that Obama is, like, man spread to fuck, like, he looks like he's, remember Spy Crab, from Team Fortress 2? He's doing that. He's holding the decapitated Statue of Liberty head, and he's frowning, he's very mad, and then he's got the symbols for the symbol, the
crescent, the star
moon
and crescent,
yeah,
the
star
hammer
and crescent,
sickle.
and the hammer and sickle in the background, and he drew Obama being like, "Wow, you even included all the pot I smoked when I was a young man."
Let's not not mention the fact that he is holding the Statue of Liberty's bloody severed head?
I did say that, yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. Well, because there is actually like a basis for that, which is that the artist who did the portrait has done portraits of like, I think black women holding like severed white heads. Now what Ben Garrison forgot to include here is two things that are in the actual portrait. One is the giant sperm cell on his face, and the other is his just rock hard hog that's fully out. And when I saw that, I did understand why Sean Hannity was so upset. But anyway, the secret sperm. So this is a completely different matter from the flower stuff.
Is this like that scene in The Lion King where if you pause at the right moment, like the dust that Simba knocks into the air spells sex?
Yeah,
like,
and you see Mufasa blasting a giant load. Okay, so the secret sperm, and they were posting this with like Obama covered in semen. So here's what it is. Okay, so in the portrait, there's a vein on Obama's forehead that like the vein is kind of shaped like the tail of a sperm cell, and it kind of leads off to like his temples, and there's a sort of little like bit of shading there that you could say looks like the head of the sperm cell. Now, I do want to clarify two things. One, like people have pointed out that vein is like a real vein on Obama's head that you can see in pictures of him. And two, the artist who did the portrait like has done paintings of like black men with like sperm cells like in the background or like on the frame, but they're not like hidden stuff. But now, okay, I will say the little bit of shading that kind of makes the head of the sperm cell is kind of weird, and it does stand out as like what's going on there. So I would honestly not be surprised if he did sneak a sperm cell into this portrait. And that's all. I think they're right, and I think it's great.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Sam, InfoWars confirmed.
Yeah, I just want to make a note that while that topic was going on, the topic was edited multiple times in the episode link stock, and I'm going to read what it currently reads.
Okay.
Anyone else here love dogs? No! Conservatives are very mad about Obama's dog love portrait.
So...
Thanks.
What I'm getting, so I just want to make sure I can sort of summarize what Sam has said. What I'm getting out of this is portrait done, dick out. I am forcibly removed from the office of president.
Yeah,
exactly. Yes.
Oh, and I do want to clarify. I wasn't joking when I said that his boner is out in the portrait for real. That's true.
Yeah, his hog is entirely out, and it is like at least at half mast.
8 feet
He has a visible
long.
Throbbing hog.
The frame,
Yes.
his dick actually like loops around and becomes the frame. It's very artistic.
Yeah, it's practically turgid with cum.
Wouldn't be the first time I've seen art like that. All right, so some funny shout-outs. There was a bill to increase the amount of menstrual products that AFAB prisoners in Arizona could get. They made the legislators freak out about yucky period juice. And there's a very bad quote that we need to iterate here. Let me just take a quick second to find it.
Suck. Here we go.
Because originally in Arizona, prisons are required to give their prisoners 12 pads per day. Or per month, not per day. Per day would be fine. If they were giving them 12 pads per day, that'd be fine. But per month is like, no, that's like, they did some math here, and I don't have a vagina yet, but on average, you'll probably go through about like 20 pads a month, give or take, depending on, period intensity. That's just like on average. If you get like a really heavy flow, like you need more. You just see as many as you can get. They were just like, hey, so 12 is not enough. And let me see.
Well, the thing is, if the more you give them, like, eventually they're gonna have enough to like make a raft or something. You know?
Yeah. Here's
a
the
raft to
in
use
Arizona.
in the fucking desert.
In Arizona. Well, I mean, you just don't want them to have rafts. What are they gonna do with a raft? You know.
Here's the quote, by the way, from Committee Chairman Jay Lawrence. I'm almost sorry I heard the bill. I didn't expect to hear pads and tampons and the problems of periods.
Oh my god, you fucking child. Grow the fuck up.
Yeah, and the that's the shot. Here's the chaser. The legislator bill is DOA because it did make it to the safety committee chairman, whatever the fuck his position is, the House Bill 2222. And the chairman was like, I'm not going to see this, which is basically just saying this is not going to happen.
So they're not going to give
TJ
them
Shope,
more.
TJ Shope, committee chairman, rules committee chairman, says he did not intend to hear the bill, which is essentially killing it.
Well, see,
Sorry,
what we need to do is...
Sorry, I'm unclear. Will they be giving them more, or they will not be giving them more?
They will not be giving them more.
Okay, how is that a chaser?
I don't exactly know. What is a chaser?
I don't know. I don't do that.
Chasers are supposed to be good.
Oh, no.
You just took grain alcohol and chased it with gasoline.
Well, the chasers, I mean, they don't even really matter, because when you catch the snitch, like, it basically invalidates the rest of the game.
Alright, read another book, you fucking liberal. Alright, that's it for that topic.
Well, just like, we just gotta wait till the midterm elections when we have Senator Joe Arpaio. He'll do it. He'll make the change.
Yeah.
Let's move on. I'm gonna die.
So Poland is running ad campaigns on YouTube that are saying, we actually did a lot to help the Jews during the Holocaust. And now they've also made it, like, illegal to say that Poland, like, participated in the Holocaust.
Yeah, which is just blatantly rewriting history. The Polish government was complicit in a lot of the Holocaust business, and trying to whitewash that is disingenuous at best and, blatantly hateful at worst. And also, I saw today, I don't exactly know how the Polish government works, but steps are being taken to ban kosher slaughtering in Poland. So,
Good.
Not rooted in anti-Semitism or anything.
No, certainly not.
Nope.
A total coincidence.
It's always a fucking coincidence.
Wait, banning kosher slaughtering, not like making it so that the legislations are loosened, like banning it outright.
Correct.
All right,
I'm sure.
Next topic.
I'm sure that it's unrelated to
entirely.
Europe is just really nice, though. Like we could escape all like the random creeping fascism. We could just move to France with Daddy Emmanuel Macron reinstating compulsory military service.
Yeah, it's really cool that he beat a fascist by such a narrow margin, and then immediately got to work building the infrastructure for a fascist takeover.
Listen,
that's great.
I'm not saying that I would dodge the draft.
I am. I'll say that.
I will say that.
Yeah, I will absolutely dodge the draft.
There's 0% chance I would ever fight in a war.
I mean, to be fair, I'm trans, so like they don't want me anyways.
I mean,
it's great that Macron is just making Vichy France again, so that the next person doesn't have to do it. It's already there.
Yep. 12 Democrat representatives voted to repeal the ADA, which is likely to be dead on arrival at the Senate. So, according to the ACLU, so likely a no, considering John McCain was one of the people who. But we did get 12 Democrat representatives voting to say, those Americans with their disabilities, they're running around with all the money falling out of their pocket to send false lawsuits because someone kicked them in the shins or something.
Yeah, this thing that happens.
We gotta protect big businesses more because, these disabled people are just making so much money.
You hear about it every day. Greedy disabled people with their abusive lawsuits.
Stephen Hawking, other people, And you know what? Here's an actual chaser. The sound designer for Subnautica, Simon Shalinsky, was fired because Subnautica, for those that don't know, it's kind of like a
let's advertise Subnautica.
It's a video game. You're underwater and it's like Don't Starve, but you're underwater and it's first person. Anyways, the creator was making some really racist and like transphobic, like, oh, attack helicopter, I'm transracial, blah, 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 jokes. And thank fucking God that it came back to bite them in the ass because they got their bitch ass fired.
Yeah, I mean, he made a lot of fucking. There was another thing he wrote about like immigrants from African countries are like bringing down the average IQ of the nations they immigrate to or something.
That doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Yeah, he said a lot of fucking stuff.
The head dev of Subnautica does rub me the wrong way because I think there was some endemic sexism to him because I do remember specifically a Twitter poll that was basically like worded in like almost explicitly this, like, what should we do for Subnautica? Option 1. add female character. Option 2, improve core game.
Yeah, very, very unsubtly saying, like, it's frivolous.
Do you
and
want us to waste our
and-
time, or do you want us to actually work on the game?
Yeah, pretty much just saying it's a waste of time and resources to have any diversity whatsoever in any game ever.
Well, see, the thing is, when you make a female character, you have to spend like 6 months dev time lovingly animating the titties.
Yeah,
and mind you, for anyone who isn't familiar with this game, it's a first-person game where
You need to be able to, like, Sam, you need to be able to look down and just see those, like, big, flopping, like, F-cups just, like, swaying.
You need to look down and not be able to see the ground.
Sorry, hold on. Why only F-cups?
Listen,
I want to look down
Sam,
and see those triple Z cups filling the screen. I want to be able to use them.
They're your personal flotation devices.
I played Subnautica and I didn't care for the little, like, sort of submarine base that you've got, but if it was just your titties, now that's a good game. And I want to
go into the VR zone and physically feel her back pain.
I
want to say about this game.
I want to do a
by the way.
tangent here. I want to do a tangent here on that, off of that, because that is making me realize someone on Twitter made a very interesting thread recently that I was thinking about a lot. VR chat, like the game or whatever you want to call it, the game app VR chat, that is going to lead to more video gamers coming out as trans than anything else in the world.
Probably.
Like, I guarantee you that. Like, as far as video games go, at least. Because, like, just, like, some video gamer is going to, like, be some moe shit anime girl and look down at their body and be like, oh, fuck. Oh, god fucking damn it. But I'm not even kidding. Like, if that had been me, if I had access to this tech at, like, age 13, I would have been like, oh, okay. Anyways.
We are all want to be anime girl.
The thing I wanted to say about Subnautica that I think is really funny is when all this stuff was, like, popping off with Subnautica, I went on Steam and I just, like, clicked onto the store page and scrolled down, and it's got, like, all the review stuff, and apparently Steam has put in this new thing because for all these dumb bullshit reasons, like, games are getting flooded with negative reviews for, like, political stuff. And it's got a thing now where it's like, hey, we just noticed that on this day, like, there was a extremely disproportionate number of negative reviews, so just letting you know, maybe something's going on there. And there's a button that says, show me only negative reviews from this time frame. And I was like, yes, please. And because I had heard about, like, the sound design guy and the developer making those shitty comments on Twitter, and I was like, it seems weird that, like, the left don't usually, like, flood Steam pages with negative reviews for stuff like that, so I was kind of surprised. And then I click, and everything was like, they should be ashamed of themselves for capitulating to the SJW cuck demands. How dare they? And it's like 500 hours on record of Subnautica.
I don't understand,
just...
though. I always thought it was supposed to be like it's not about the politics, it's just about the video games.
No.
The thing is, they see right-wing politics as neutral.
That is exactly it.
The Overton window is so
if it's
fucked.
like a game about, like, killing women, then it's like, yeah, this is normal. But if it's a game about, like, a lesbian is in it, they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You're trying to force diversity down our throats. That's basically what it is to be a gamer. And as a gamer, I fully agree with all of these negative reviews. I didn't really enjoy Subnautica either.
Move to questions?
Yeah,
if you guys want to send us questions, we have a Twitter,
at HKIPGTD.
Yeah, and a Tumblr.
HKIPGTD.tumblr.com.
We are far more likely to read the Tumblr questions because
but we
it's
do
a
also
lot
have an
easier
email.
to look. We do have an email that I've never checked.
Yeah, so
Okay.
please don't send them there. We won't
Oh,
send them.
so-
We also have the subreddit now.
Yes, we do.
reddit.com/r/ the acronym.
HKIPGTD.
That's
Yep.
not a
Yeah,
place
that
for
one.
questions, but it does exist.
Yeah,
Was
if
it?
you want to
What's the handle? Punch Drunk Bisexual?
Bisexual Punch Party.
Bisexual Punch Party, yes. thank
Reddit
you.
user Bisexual Punch Party. Thanks for setting that up for us, and thanks
Thank
for
you.
letting us be
And
mods.
thank you for posting all the episodes on it.
Yeah.
Because God knows I forget to post them on the Twitter all the time.
Yeah,
Whoops.
and we also have a Discord, which we'll leave in the show notes, and I think it's also pinned to our Twitter, and it's on our Tumblr too.
Good Discord.
Come join us and yell about bad things. All right.
I have the questions open in a format that I can read them bottom to top because I feel like we keep like missing questions and leaving them.
Yeah,
there.
I've got them like that too.
Yeah, all right.
Did we cover the bit wisdom question?
I don't
We
think
did not.
we did.
We did not.
Okay.
No, we did not.
Question.
Okay.
I'm a straight white guy in a Silicon Valley startup tech job, and I will likely become progressively wealthier as time goes on. I am concerned about becoming shittier as my net worth increases. What's the best way for me to spend/donate/eat my money so that I can remain a good person? My recommendation is give all of your monthly earnings to Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die Patreon, coming soon.
Yeah,
Make
one
us
of our
rich.
the only question we have on Twitter this week actually is Patreon when. So don't worry, it's in the works.
It'll happen.
We're thinking about it.
Now, this is actually a thing that I think about a lot, this question, because, I mean, I'm unemployed. I'm a total fail son right now. I have nothing going on and no income. But, in theory, hopefully, I'll eventually have a job that is in a field like yours that's where I'm supposed to make money. And I myself am very preemptively worried about becoming, like, a fucking worthless rich person who is just like, oh, but my money. So here's the policy that I try to have is like, and this is a fucked up thing to say about the reality that we live in, but I try to be very like, when I see people posting like GoFundMe's and you caring stuff, I try to be very like free with my money for that kind of stuff. Because, you know, other people need it more than we do. And as like privileged people who can afford it. And also I just like buying shit for my friends, you know?
It's good.
Yeah, also, like, another small thing is you can just give money. Like, I don't know where you live and what the situation's like, but you can just, like, give money to homeless people.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really
he lives
easy-
in Seattle, and there are a lot of...
Okay,
there's a
perfect.
pretty... Yeah.
This says
Yeah,
Silicon
that's-
Valley,
Give it,
but
you know what? Actually, if you're in Seattle, you should give your money to Jeffrey Bezos. He could really use it after that hit he took.
Yeah. He
When
took
the
a
Dow
big
Jones
hit.
fell.
Poor Jeffy.
But
Yeah.
I think another really big one is the thing that causes rich people's brain poison more than anything else is that the second they become rich, they just never interact with poor people in any way. Like rich people have created so many systems to make it so that they never have to interact with a person with less money than them ever.
Yeah, and just then
And
they
I
just
think
lose
just,
all
like-
perspective on anything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, just integrate yourself into the community, especially like labor communities, and especially if you become in a position of power in something like a tech firm, like encourage labor rights of your workers. Like, don't be a shit about that kind of stuff. And then, of course, just engage with your community in general. Because if you're engaging with your wider community and not just the insular net of rich people, then you're just going to have better perspectives on things. And that's the real thing that rich people lack is perspective.
Yep.
Yeah, I
That and a
think
heart
the
and
fact
brain.
that you are preemptively concerned about it in the first place means I wouldn't worry about it too much. I think you're in the right mindset for a person who potentially might start making a good amount of money.
Yeah. Next question from Tumblr user Flying is fearful of me. Hi.
I get
I'm one
it.
of those
Good reference. McCluskey, good.
What? Okay. Hi, I'm one of those Americans that idealizes Canada and hopes to move there someday. But it kind of sounds like some of y'all on Wikipedia think Canada is pretty bad too. So I was wondering if you could compare the U.S. and Canada in terms of awfulness. Now, the way that I like to do this is like, you ever touch the sides of a pan and it's like too hot because like you forgot like the hand like a cast iron skillet or something.
No,
you
I'm
fear that
smart.
The handle conducts the heat. Anyways, I'm a dumb bitch and I do that all the time. But anyways, it's kind of like that is kind of like in my brain. That's kind of what Canada is like, but like America is just like plunging your whole body face first into a volcano, which is like Canada is bad, but like America is just like they go on to say here are some things that make me want to leave the U.S. Police violence, constant mass shootings, corrupt political system, institutional racism, and the slow crawl towards fascism.
I want to take those one by one, but
Sure.
just to start the closing of the question, just read it off.
And if Canada is that bad, is there any good country?
No. There is not. There's no good country.
What about like Kurdistan?
I've heard good things about Denmark, but I know nothing about
The
it.
thing is, borders are a farce. All countries are false.
Yeah.
Okay, so Matt,
What about
things that want to
Sealand?
things that want them to make them things that make them want to leave the U.S. Police violence,
Are you white? If you're white, you'll be fine.
constant mass shootings,
We do have notedly less of those, unless you happen to be a Muslim churchgoer.
corrupt political system.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, no, that reminds me of a breaking story that my friend just told me. So I was talking on the last episode I was on 3 weeks ago that Patrick Brown, the leader of the Progressive Conservative Party in Ontario, had to resign and step down because of sexual assault allegations. Literally, when we started recording, he announced that he never stepped down and is still the leader. So that's a fun thing that's happened, as there's a literal leadership race going on right now. The one thing that you could say to our favor is that we have a party that is at least on the left wing. If not, it's not an explicitly leftist party because it's, social democrats. So, they're about halfway there, not quite there. But we do have a party on our actual left wing. So you could count that in the positives.
Do we,
Institutional racism.
Institutional racism, yes, there's a lot of that. But, again, are you white? You'll be fine.
And the slow crawl towards fascism.
That's going on everywhere, baby!
Welcome to the West.
I mean,
So
I feel like it's actually almost more here, because we have, almost a form of, a liberal approach to, a progression to fascism, because we've got... I mean, Justin Trudeau's got a cult of personality, and that's, one of the main features of, fascistic governments, so the fact that that's being built is not good.
So it sounds like what this all boils down to is... if you're white, I think you'll love it.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is that white people fucking love Canada.
We do. Love of Canada.
Okay. So next question from Taxes. Tumblr user TAXZ. Just recently found the show, and I really like it. Thanks. It's really cool to see a Garfield-centric leftist podcast. We are the number one Garf boys and girls and non-binary folks. My question is Jon Arbuckle an incel? No, Jon Arbuckle is actually Volcel.
Okay, I knew you were gonna fucking say. Okay, no. Can you? Okay, I am so everyone is fucking saying this about Jon Arbuckle. I can't take it anymore. Jon Arbuckle canonically fucks. His fucking just
no. That's apocryphal. I'm not gonna hear it.
No,
Sam.
it's not fucking. Fuck you, Liz the vet.
This is the maddest and second dating that Sam has
John.
gotten.
I can't fucking stand this heterosexual erasure that is going on.
Look, they're dating, but that doesn't mean John is fucked.
Yeah, thank you, Evan. Just because
he
they're
is
together doesn't mean they're
uncel.
fucking.
He is not celibate. He fucks daily in the comics. You see it. I draw it, and I know it.
No, look, John...
Guys, we're forgetting the really important thing, which is that Jon Arbuckle canonically drank dog cum.
Yes.
Now, he did canonically drink dog cum.
That, you see, that's what I mean, is that is, Jon Arbuckle, he is, I personally like to think that John is ace. That's my headcanon for Jon Arbuckle.
Jon Arbuckle is nofap.
Because that's also true. Now, I am subscribed... I am subscribed to Jim Davis's Patreon, so I get all the special bonus comics, and I really did like how in the comic strip directly before the one where John canonically goes into Liz's office while she's doing a checkup on Garfield and he drinks dog cum from a cup on the table. In the strip that he did for Patreon subscribers right before that, I really thought it was brave how he did actually show Liz jacking off a dog in her office.
Oh, all right. We need to move on before Sam opens his mouth again.
Next question.
Tumblr user Mike Dawson says, my entry-level observation for the day. Mainstream American politics, both liberal and conservative, relies on a foreign country to demonize. Whether it be Mexico, China, any and all Middle Eastern countries, or Russia, we've just reached a point where we're running out of countries to demonize and are cycling back to Russia. I mean, this is true. Liberals are just... everything is Russia.
I disagree. Because this implies, and I don't think this was what you meant to imply when you said this, but this makes it sound like we're not still demonizing Mexico, China, and the Middle East, which we totally are.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it's less that we're running out of countries to demonize, and it's more that we just can't get enough of demonizing other countries.
Yeah.
We love it.
If you want to make yourself mad, it's always cool to just go through Eric Garland's Twitter feed if you want to just see the most inane garbage.
Now, his free one or his premium one for paying subscribers?
Sam, I want you to think really hard about whether I would pay to see Eric Garland's Twitter feed.
I would pay to see Eric Garland's Twitter feed. I mean, he blocked me a long time ago, but
I'm jealous. I keep trying to get blocked by him. I call him mean names all day,
You
every
have to
day.
reply
but it hasn't
directly
worked.
to him. You can't quote tweet him. That won't work.
All right, I'll do that. I'll do that.
All right. Also, actually,
Here at Akipka Today, we have all the most efficient strategies for getting blocked by Eric Garland.
oh, by the way, it's awfully convenient here because I just happen to have one of the theory books that I've read here, which makes me smarter than the listeners of this podcast, on hand. On hand, actually, when we were talking about this, and this is from Herbert Marcuse's One-Dimensional Man, where he says that he operates his entire theory of capitalism operates under the assumption that the enemy has to remain permanent. So that's like a literal thing that people have like observed. So good job. What was their name?
Mike Dawson.
Mike Dawson. Excellent. It was an excellent observation. This is a real and true thing. A+ of the show. I tried to find a funnier way to end that, but I couldn't. Anyway.
Yeah, Mike Dawson, I loved your work in Darkseid and also Darkseid 2. Can't wait for the third one.
Hey, you missed, pal. References. Anything else?
I think that's it for that one.
Next question, a little bit more of a correction. I think you will find the idea that Sanger started Planned Parenthood as a eugenicist thing is actually a myth propagated by anti-abortion, etc. types to make Planned Parenthood look bad or something. Yeah, that was a... I wasn't on last week's episode, so I don't think anyone was except Evan. So, Evan, you are punished.
Fuck you,
have
Evan.
been deleted from the podcast.
All right.
For
I mean,
2
it
weeks'
was Caroline. It was Caroline that was talking, but on the two hand, like Caroline was also extremely mad and making a lot of good arguments around it. So like I could.
Yeah, and
I can
Caroline's not
pass
here, so
that.
we will have to punish Evan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
One side note I want to point out with this question, like, we're probably going to fuck up a lot moving forward.
Please tell us, actually.
Yeah, don't ever feel bad about, like, correcting us or on some dumb
Yeah,
bullshit
you don't have to be on and on. Like, just tell us. It's good.
With some exceptions, we're all fucking idiots, so...
Yeah, no, we will gladly correct ourselves on any mistake that we make. We are always looking to learn. We do try our best, but we do slip up sometimes.
Yeah. We're running pretty long, so should we just skip to this last very good question?
I like these last. Can we just do these last thing really quick? I like these.
All right, we got to
Okay.
go lightning round, though.
Question from Odd Days George: how can Bernie still win? Gun, and that's the
Gun.
Okay.
in the
Gun.
sentence.
Next.
If he gets the nomination in 2020, I think he'll win.
Gun. Futch Cassidy asks, "What should we call cops instead of pigs? Because some pigs are good." The fuzz.
That's a really shitty
Bastards.
answer.
Dumb fuck as a fun word.
Bastards. Yes, bastards.
Oh, Garbador.
Fuck
no! Garbador is good!
All right, Sam, I'm
Fine,
muting
Trubbish.
you.
All right,
I don't want to hear your bastard words.
Shut the fuck up. Futch Cassidy says, "Hey, not sure if this applies to... Actually, no, this is a question we are saving for next week because this question is too long of an answer." Last question from Nick Arvern, who asks, "What Olympic event should Henry Kissinger die in?" My response to this is skeet. You run him over while
I was
skiing,
thinking the
and then
same
you shoot him
fucking
with
thing.
your...
Okay, guys. As the foremost expert on the Winter Olympics, I think we should crush his nuts between two curling rocks.
See, I think...
What nuts? I think that we should there's a missed joke there about skeet because Henry Kissinger's come anyways.
Wait, no, I
continue.
got my final answer.
Matt.
Skeleton, because he already is one.
Fucking skeleton.
What is skeleton?
It's
It
like
is
scary
head
luge.
first luge.
Oh, more like head first lube. That you're going straight into the ass. Anyways,
Head first.
That's
Anyone
it.
else?
We're done.
Henry
the show is
Kissinger
over.
is Pokemon going to rim me.
All right, we're done. The podcast is over. End.
All right.
End.
all
We
right,
gotta
all
plug
right.
our shit and then we're done.
Talked about it. We've already plugged everything else. Like I said, the Discord pinned to our Twitter.
Henry Kissinger's
I'm-
Pokemon going to plug it. Okay.
Sam, shut the fuck up.
I'm Lulu. You can find me on Twitter at Chie-Shadonaka or chiesatsunakas.tumblr.com. I do 2 other podcasts, Fear Baiting, which is a gay look at horror movies, and The Wonder Years, which is an Animorphs rereading / rewatching podcast. We are watching the show right now, and it's a fucking tragedy. My kingdom for a good Animorphs TV show on Netflix. I'm also going to be on the podcast What's Your Fursona this coming Tuesday, I think.
Wait, Lulu, you're a furry?
You can check that out at WYFcast on Twitter. I'm really excited to be on. We're recording.
it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fucking fun episode.
I'm Evan, and I'm on Twitter at TP_Albuquerque. And if you're at all interested, I do a radio show on CKLU.ca about politics with a couple of rotating cast of friends of mine. So check that out.
I need to be on your show at some point.
Sounds suspiciously like this podcast, you fucking traitor.
Is it like this but good?
It's much more local and unfortunately is sometimes problematic. Please don't judge me. I can't control what they say.
The thing is, I should be on that show because I'm at CKLU all the time and I'm on the board. And I feel like as a board member, saying controversial things on air is important. My name is Matt. I'm on Twitter at MattGCN. I'm on Tumblr at Tramampoline. I have other podcasts, but I don't fucking update them, so there's no point in me mentioning them. I do have a radio show every Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. on CKLU.ca. I play good music. Also, I interviewed John Linnell, and it was really fucking good, and you can listen to that at mixcloud.com/MattGCN.
That's the guy from They Might Be Giants, if you're a scrub and don't know that.
I'm Patrick, Twitter, PG1497, Tumblr, Taking Turns at Random. End of transmission.
I'm Sam. I'm on Tumblr at Positive-Stress, and I have a podcast with my brother called Jurgen It, where we talk about the secret life of the American teenager, and we are... this week we are starting season 2, and things are going to get real buck wild real fast, and I'm so fucking excited. And it's
I'm pumped.
JUERGENIT is how you spell that. Bad name, unfortunately.
And that's going to go ahead and do it for this episode of Henry Kissinger's Pokemon Going to Die, Not a Threat, Just a Fact. Evan, do you want to take us out of here?
Memento Pokemore.
Nailed it. Sorry about everything I said today.
I go hard in the motherfucking paint, nigga. Leave you stankin', nigga. What the fuck you thinking, nigga? I won't die for this shit or what the fuck I say. Front yard, broad day with the SK. See Gucci, that's my motherfucking nigga. I hang in the bell with them hit squad killers. Waka Flocka flame on the hood ass nigga. Riding real slow, bending corners, my nigga. Got a main bitch, got a mistress, a couple of girlfriends, I'm so